Hi guys, welcome to Recipes Tested. I'm Brianna Robinson, and today I'm gonna be playing around with some leftover pizza dough I had and make some what I'm gonna call some cinnamon sugar little bites. So I actually came up with this recipe idea in a dream, and it's so simple that I'm thinking that I'm not the first person who's ever come up with this kind of a recipe, but I did want to go ahead and give it a shot because it's something that I dreamed about and I want to make my dreams a reality. And I'm going to be using the pizza dough recipe. I have a really old video on that and I will link it up here so you guys can go check it out if you guys want to make this too. But if you want to see how this recipe turns out, just keep watching and I'll get testing.
My first step was getting my pizza dough out of my fridge, and I just took it and tried to roll it in a little bit of flour because it was kind of sticky into like a long rope, like a long snake thing, just to make it so it's easier to cut. And at this point I was just playing around with it, but I went and cut it right down the middle so that I can chop them two at a time just to make it faster. And I cut them into about half-inch little pieces. I didn't want to have them be too big and take too long to fry. And next I gathered them up and put them on a bowl. And when I did this, I tried to separate them so that they wouldn't stick together because this was in the fridge, so it was cold and everything was kind of sticking. And I just got some regular vegetable oil and filled up my pan to cover the bottom and then just fried them. And I made sure to put the cut sides down so that they would just be easier to cook and easier to flip. Would probably cook faster too that way. And next I flipped them, and they did expand when they cooked. So if you make this, give them some room because they spread a lot more than you think they are going to. But once they looked like little chicken nuggets, I just put them on a paper towel lined plate and then proceeded to frying the rest of my dough. And then the last step was to dip them in a sprinkling of cinnamon sugar, and that was it.
So these little bites are done. I don't know if they're like donuts or what, but they smell really good. So I'm gonna give it a taste and let you know if it's love at first bite. These taste a lot like donuts. They aren't as airy as cinnamon sugar donuts, but they have a nice light but chewy texture to them. And I'm gonna dip it in some chocolate and see if it just amplifies. I like the chocolate, but I don't. I like the cinnamon and chocolate together, but I kind of think that the chocolate is a little overpowering, but it's still good. It just makes it kind of like a fried donut tasting dipped in chocolate with like the cinnamon crunch. It's not so much like a standout cinnamon sugar thing. If you understand what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up. I think you guys should make this. This was really easy and a lot of fun and a nice thing to have after pizza night. So when I make pizza, I make a 2-pound ball recipe, and usually that's split into two to make 2 regular crust large pizzas. But what we do is we split it into thirds so that we get 2 thin crust pizzas, and then we usually have 1 left over. Normally, I make a pizza bomb recipe that I got from laurenthekitchen.com, and leave me a comment if you guys want to see that too, because that's a super killer recipe. But this time we just didn't really feel like doing that. Well, I just didn't want to go through the work, so I wanted to try something else, and this is what I came up with. I really like this. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I rate this a 10 out of 10 just because it's so easy and it's so flavorful. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and testing out this recipe. I appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for more recipes tested, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. They're so yummy.